Hello learners, welcome to this session which is on Postgraduate Diploma in Sustainability Science. We are covering course MST 011, that is Sustainability Science. In today's session, we will be talking about eco-friendly lifestyles. We will see what is an eco-friendly lifestyle, what does it comprise of, and how in today's world we can go for eco-friendly lifestyles. So what is a lifestyle? Lifestyle is the style of your life in the simple words, and it means that the way you live, the way you do the things, the way you make use of the resources, the way you display the things, it is as simple as that. So in a nutshell, we can say that the term lifestyle refers to our manner of living. The word was first coined by an Austrian psychologist, that was Alfred Adler, in 1929, and he gave the concept that how people live differently in different parts of the world, and he said that there are several levels of lifestyles. For example, there is a lifestyle at individual level, at society level, at global level, at positional level. So these are the different levels of lifestyles, we can say. So as per Cockerham in 2002, he gave a very interesting thing, a very interesting note about lifestyle. And what he said was that a lifestyle is a matter of chance and choice. What does it mean? It means that how we are living depends lot of chance. Chance in the sense that what resources we have around us, what is the environment around us, how do people around us live, that is the matter of the chance. And this chance, who gives us? This chance is given to us by the society, by the members of the society. And another thing is that which is very important in the context of in the lifestyle, that is the choice. Means how we are able to make use of the resources. Do we have the choice or not? If we do not have the choice of living according to certain norms, certain prescribed standards of the society, then we are bound to live according to our conditions. So in a simple words, we can say that how we are living, how we are using the resources, how we are commuting, what kind of products we are using, that depends a lot on the availability of these things in our surrounding, and also on many factors, whether we are able to use them or not, whether we are able to grab those things or not. So in today's world, what we can say is that what is a lifestyle? It is a characteristic bundle of behavior that influences both self and the others. So how we are living, that is the characteristic bundle of behaviors. Now behavior encompasses a lot of things. What is our profession, what is our day-to-day activities that we do, what is the surroundings, how people are living, how people are moving from one place to another, what products they are using. So that whole encompasses a characteristic bundle of behaviors, that which cannot be put into one heading. And these characteristic bundle influences the self also. It has a remarkable influence on us, that how our life would be in the years to come and in the future if present trends continue. And also it has an influence on others also. Now as compared to changing lifestyles, we very well know that there are issues of sustainability. Sustainability is an environmental policy that encompasses how we are going to continue a current trend or continue a manner of living for long. So what are these issues? Number one is economic successes. We very well know that with the economic development which has taken place over past few years, things have changed. There is a drastic change in the manner we are living today as compared to, we can say, a decade before or 2 decades before. It is only possible because of the economic success we have seen. That is why there is a difference in the lifestyle of the people who are living in the developed countries, in the developing countries, the rural places, the urban places. We find that there is a starking difference between the income levels of the people and the lifestyle which they follow. And that is why a global consumer class has emerged, which uses the resources very differently. And that is why we say that the Europeans are using the resources 3 times than an Indian, and Americans 5 times. So there is a great deal of variation in the usage of the resources, and that has been possible, and that has occurred mainly because of the economic successes. That means with economic development, there is a spurt in the production, in the consumption, and out of these there is a change in the manner the people are living. So there is a change in the lifestyle. Then we can say economic structure. What does it mean? That from the agricultural dominant society which existed before, now we have another sectors coming up. We have the tertiary sectors, we have more of a service industry, we have more of an industrial work which goes on. And because of that, obviously the exploitation of resources takes place in a different manner, and therefore there is a huge change which has been seen in the consumption of the resources, in the manner of the living of the people. So economic structure in a society, what kind of living do we have, what kind of dependence, what kind of economic activity we can say on which we are depending, that also has a influence on the lifestyle. And if we talk about the sustainable lifestyle, we have to be very careful that with the change in the economic structure, are we more becoming destructive to the environment, or are we following the lifestyle which is dangerous and which is hazardous for us also in the coming times. Similarly, household electronics and energy consumption. There is a great boom in the household electronic appliances which has occurred. The number of ACs, the number of refrigerators, televisions and other electronic appliances and the kitchen appliances which we find in our homes has changed. And now it is very common to find these electronic appliances in almost every Indian home. And with that also there is a change in the energy consumption also. The way we are using the energy, it has changed both in terms of the quality of the energy that we are using and also the quantity of the energy, that is also changing. So are we moving towards the unsustainable manner of production of these electronic appliances? Are we able to find a way middle path where we are using these resources, and are we not ending up into energy crisis, because there are certain sections of our society who are even deprived of electricity, the basic thing which we have. But on the other hand, we have a huge energy losses occurring because of the usage of these household gadgets, not only in the houses but also we can say in every place wherever it is possible. These electronic appliances are being used in a widespread manner. So that also accounts, and that is also a question mark, that if we have to go for sustainable lifestyle, how we are going to address this. Then community based living style, that also has an influence, because nowadays we are moving from one place to another. It has become more of a homogeneous society, and in a homogeneous society, when a person sees other cultures, the people practicing living differently, the lifestyle which is different, there are various instances where we see that we get influenced by the lifestyle of the other communities, and if there is any positive thing in their communities, there is a tend to adopt to that lifestyle, whether it is sustainable or not, that is usually ignored. But because of this community based living, which happens most cases in the urban areas, where we look at the culture, look at the lifestyle of the others and try to adopt it without actually looking into its sustainability, that also poses a question before us. And then there is an issue of culture. Because in several cultures, possession of materialistic things is a sign of success. So whether you have 2 cars or 4 cars in your home, or whether you have ACs, how much big size of the apartment you are having, if that is the culture, if that is counted as the measure of success, that obviously will lead to adoption of that kind of lifestyle to sustain yourself in the society. So that is also a question mark to follow for sustainability issues which come, that with the changing times the lifestyles have changed, that we know and that we have seen. But with these changing lifestyles, what are the sustainability issues? How we are going to address these issues in near future? So now our normal curiosity is that what is eco-friendly lifestyle, or what is sustainable lifestyle, or how we should proceed for it. So in simple words, we can say that eco-friendly lifestyle means living a life that is environmentally friendly, where everyone works towards protecting and conserving nature. In simple words, we can say that you have an eco-friendly lifestyle when you do minimum impact on the environment, when you conserve the resources, when you use the resources judiciously, when your actions are environmental friendly. That is actually, in simple words, that is an eco-friendly lifestyle. But how to go for eco-friendly lifestyle, how to adopt eco-friendly lifestyle, and what are the elements of eco-friendly lifestyle, that we have to see. Because most of the cases it is generally believed that following eco-friendly lifestyle means you are cutting down on your comforts, on your materialistic possessions, but actually it is not so. When we talk about eco-friendly lifestyle, it doesn't mean that you have to cut down on your choices, but rather it means that it should be the diversity of the choices that you have before us. And another thing which is very important in eco-friendly lifestyle is that it should be effortless, it should not be forced, because whatever the elements of eco-friendly lifestyle are there, if they are forced, then they are not going to be sustainable in the long run. So let us see how eco-friendly lifestyle is approaching and how it is needed. So in today's scenario, there is a shift towards eco-friendly lifestyle. Why we are talking about eco-friendly lifestyle? What is the wrong notion about the existing lifestyle? And there are certain factors responsible for it. Number one is holistic quality of life and rising eco-awareness. We very well know today what are the consequences of living unsustainability, what are the consequences of pollution, how health hazards have become very common, how health, education, all these things have taken prime importance for us. So there is a need for a holistic quality of life, where we want a life which is balanced in terms of proper health, proper living, good quality time, and apart from it also care for the nature. So there is a rising eco-awareness, because now we have come to realize the importance of pristine environment, importance of pure air, water, how it matters that if the surroundings are clean, we will be able to live a healthy life, a content life. So that is why there is an urge to know more about eco-friendly lifestyles, because we know that unsustainable lifestyles, unsustainable method of living will end up in problems. And therefore, one of the most prominent reasons that why we want eco-friendly lifestyle is that we have instinct to live more sustainability. Then the climate protection, climate emergency has been widely seen. The type of the weather which changes at any particular place, the type of the climate related tragedies and disasters which we are witnessing every time, the type of the floods which occur, or the frequency of disasters which is occurring and which has increased in the previous times. All these things have acquired for a much needed attention towards eco-friendly lifestyles. Then there is a rising energy cost, this is also very important, and search for local ethnicity. Now we realize the importance of local foods, local traditions, local geography, local available resources. So now we want more. So instead of trying to find out something from outside, we have now begun our search to find the useful resources in our surroundings. So now there is more information being sought for the local ethnicity, and now it is the time for revival of our local traditions, local values, our culture, our ethos, etc. So all these factors have been a driving force towards the eco-friendly lifestyle. And there are certain areas, if we want to go for eco-friendly lifestyle, what areas should be intervened? So there is consuming. First factor is consuming. Consuming means what you are consuming, what food you are eating, what kind of household you are having, the size of your house, what kind of products, ranging from the simple detergent that you use at your home to the car that you possess, how you are aware of your actions and your decisions. Are they eco-friendly decisions? Are they, because most of the times it has been seen that if we were talking about electronic appliances and other things, 20% of the environmental degradation occurs while the manufacture of that product, and rest 80% of the environmental consequences are felt because of the disposal and use of those products that we are manufacturing. So our consumption, that has a big role to play towards eco-friendly lifestyles. So type of consumption, what are the things we are consuming, what we are eating, what kind of clothes we are wearing, what kind of fabric we are using, how our house is being constructed, that is our consumption patterns. They have they are the chief elements of sustainable lifestyle, and they need to be checked if you want to go for eco-friendly or sustainable lifestyles. Then living is very important. The built environment, what kind of houses do we dwell in? Are they very spacious? Because if they are very spacious, they consume more energy. They are not eco-friendly. Are we living in congested places? Do we have green spaces in our homes? Are we having some sort of a natural ventilation in our home? So this is the built environment that needs to be checked. Then how we are moving, what is the way of our commuting, because if usage of cars and usage of personal vehicles is considered as a status symbol, and discarding and public transport, so that also is a question mark. So we have to check our mobility patterns also, how we are computing, whether we are driving less and cycling more, or whether we are using most of the times air transport for our mobility. So all these things play an important role. In health and society, that is also one of the important things, that with the changing times our health concerns have become very important. We are suffering from the invisible diseases. We don't know that we are sick. We don't know that how obese we are, what kind of health related problems do we are having. And not only it is about the physical health, but mental health issue also are very important. So if you want to go for eco-friendly lifestyle, the health is a very important aspect which needs to be addressed. So these are the few areas which you must check if you want to go for eco-friendly lifestyle. Then along with this, there are emerging themes, because if we talk about eco-friendly lifestyle, how we are going to see that it is eco-friendly or not, because how you are guided, and you are guided by efficiency, sufficiency, owning to sharing, holistic solutions, and immediate versus long-term gains. These are some of the very simple things in eco-friendly or sustainable lifestyles, that whatever way we are using, whatever things we are consuming, whether it is efficient and sufficient, that needs to be checked. Efficiency in the sense that whatever we have materialistic possessions we are having, nowadays it is a very common to find that devices which we use at our home, they got discarded very soon, and they add to the already brimming landfill sites. So we have to check that whatever things we are buying, are they efficient or not in serving their purposes, and they are sufficient, whether we really need to buy them, whether we really want to consume them, whether it is beneficial to us in the long run. That efficiency and sufficiency are very important parameters which needs to be checked. And now there is another very important concern which is coming nowadays, trend you can say, and that is owning to sharing. Now to shift towards eco-friendly lifestyle, there is a need to shift from owning, because earlier we felt pride in owning certain things, but now it is more of a sharing. It is no point in buying certain things if you do not use it very often. It is better to share, it is better to donate, it is better to collectively buy things and which can be used in rotation with others. So that is also that also paves the way towards eco-friendly lifestyle. And holistic solutions are also, as we have discussed, they are very important and integral part of eco-friendly lifestyle. And we have also to check that whatever elements of sustainability or eco-friendly lifestyle, whatever we have seen, are they giving us immediate benefits, or they are useful to us in long-term gains. So if it is the fact that if we are purchasing something, we have to check that whether long-term hazards of this particular, whether it is a buying behavior or consuming behavior or having a possession or any article that has a long-term consequences or not. So that is also very important. then there are certain factors that how your influence on eco-friendly lifestyle will be affected. So there is concreteness. There is a whole world where we make our decisions on the basis of the concrete information we have. So in spite of the fact that there are certain ads which say that this is an energy saving device or it is an energy efficient product, but we have to have a concrete information from the person who is using that product. So that is concreteness in if I'm shifting my choice to organic product or eco-friendly product or anything which is not harmful to the environment, I need to have a concrete information, and that information should be shared by the person who has already used or consumed that product. So concreteness of information is very essential, and it also overcomes the risk factors associated with it. So concrete information is very essential, and that concrete information usually comes from the people who have already used that particular, or you have already followed that path of eco-friendly lifestyle. Then closeness also is very important, because we tend to keep the things close to us which we feel that they are safe. We very well know that living in a airy environment, we want that because it is considered to be a good thing. Living or having plants at your home is considered as a good thing. We want that close by. Or on the other side, we don't want to live near a landfill site. So that is, the closeness is also very important, that what are the things and what are the products or what are the services which we want close to us and which we do not want close to us. So that also influences our decision. Then habit is very important, because if suppose we have the habit of switching off the lights when not in use, now this habit is to be followed when in the long term we find that it is beneficial. And same is the case with the feedback. We can say that feedback is very important, because whatever the decisions we take and whatever the change in the products which we are having, we need to have a feedback regarding it. Now this feedback can come from the concreteness also, from the closeness also, and that plays a very important role, because if I am switching to public transport, so that feedback not necessarily should come from the person, but on the other hand, I should be convinced that whatever actions I am taking towards the environment and whatever is my act towards protecting the environment in that way has a positive feedback. So if I get a positive feedback from the concerned departments, from the concerned people who are following the path, and in the long term if I see that yes, it is making a change in the outside world, that will drive towards the eco-friendly lifestyles. So a simple example is that we abandon the use of polythene bags, but this feedback, if we find that yes, it is not being used elsewhere also, and this is a good thing to do, others are also following this path, we tend to be encouraged by not using plastic bags. But on the other hand, if we find elsewhere that everybody else is using, there is no ban, there is no penalty, then definitely we also feel that if you are not convinced, we also feel of abandoning that habit. So that feedback is very important. And the role of media in the form of advertising or in the form of marketing, this has a huge role towards eco-friendly lifestyle. So if we get the information that usage of this and this product is good, or wasting food is not a good idea, or wasting water is not a good idea, collecting water from RO is a good idea, you should do it. So that kind of thing, if it comes in media, it definitely has an influence on our decision towards eco-friendly lifestyle. So these are some of the common factors, and they play a very important role in making your decision if you haven't made any, and if you have made, they play a very important role in fostering your decision that you are on the correct path towards eco-friendly lifestyle. Then how to begin with the eco-friendly lifestyle? We have already discussed small baby steps in the beginning can help in the long run towards eco-friendly lifestyle. So reduce, reuse, recycle, and the other R's, following of this thing, wasting less, consuming less, considering that less is more. These are some of the important ways to begin with eco-friendly lifestyle. These are small steps which can be easily taken up. Urban farming is a good idea if you have a space, growing small plants, you have a kitchen garden. So that way you are able to see that you are having a marked influence on the nature also, you are caring for the nature and you are able to cultivate something. And green choices, that is also very important to see that what makes a person drive towards green choices and how, what are the challenges, that how we are prone to not using the green choices. That is also something which is very important and which needs to be considered. So whenever you have a choice, go for the green choices. And there is no denying to say that India has a long tradition of eco-friendly lifestyle. Our traditions, our customs, they point towards, already we have been following the sustainable lifestyles. Our Sanskriti, our Soch, our way of living, our Prakriti Prem is being known since ages. So we know that our traditions and customs have already been in place. We consider trees to be very pious, we regard our rivers, we pay due respect to the different animals. They have been mentioned in our ancient literatures. So it is already there. The only need is that we have to rethink that whatever the unsustainable manner which we have proceeded in the last few decades, we have to check that, and we have been following the climate friendly practices. That is also very common. The sun drying of grains we have seen. We have seen the places that how we built our homes in such a way that the rainwater gets collected, how we plant the trees, how judicious we have been in conservation of the resources that is coming up, how forest we have been conserving through sacred groves. The different communities, the traditional communities, the tribal communities, they have been the protectors and the conservers of forest, which we have seen even today. Similarly, water conservation, we have seen in the traditional ways the water has been conserved at different places, and minimalist culture that is already there in our ethos and everything, where we always think that we have to sustain and we have to follow the sustainable lifestyle. We always donate the articles, the books, the clothes, whenever we are not using, we already donate it to somebody. We do not have this use and throw culture in our society. Most of the times we tend to use things to the minimum. We don't throw away the things easily. Even we have the tradition of using the leftover food also. Whatever the thing we have at our homes, we try to repair it, we try to mend it carefully. So all these things, these are some of the India's guide towards eco-friendly lifestyle, which we have been following since ages, but the time has come to revive those traditions. So the session ends that in today's session we have seen that what distinguishes between a normal lifestyle and the eco-friendly lifestyle, how we have been following the eco-friendly lifestyle since ages, but now we have seen that with the economic successes and with the economic development which has taken place, there is a whole increase in the production and consumption of goods and articles, and because of this now there is a whole chain which is affected by this consumption patterns, and ultimately it leads toward the unsustainable manner of living. So with this we end our session. Thank you.